I'm here with Devri Walls today, and we're going to be talking about her experience as a writer. How did you know you wanted to become an author?
Oh, goodness. So, I think the first time that I knew for sure that I wanted to do this was after I had been writing for, I worked on that first book for a couple of years. And when I started really thinking about publishing and how horribly terrifying it was, and I thought, maybe I should just not do this. Like, maybe it's just too hard. I should just set it aside. And there was just like this little thing inside me that was like, no, you can't stop. And that voice has kept going no matter how terrified I've been, no matter how many times I've been crying to my husband about how stressful this is. There's always that little rock underneath that's like, no, you can't quit doing this. Because I was a theater major, which I've mentioned, and I had to stop doing that because of my kids. It just was, I can't leave my kids to work and then go to rehearsals all night. And that just left a gaping hole in my soul. I'm a little dramatic, but it did. I just had this huge hole, and writing filled that for me. It gave me back that creative outlet that I was missing so desperately. So I think those two things combined is what said, no, this is the path that I'm supposed to be on, and I love it.
Wow. What do you enjoy about being an author the most?
Really, just the complete freedom and creativity.
Yeah.
I love that. I love being able to put anything I want in my story, whether it's just for fun, or whether it's because it's meaningful. Because I can hide all sorts of themes into my work that gets out some of those voices that I want to say to people, or those things I want to say to people, where it's like, hey, hold on, it'll be okay, or find what you're capable of. All those things I can just weave in, and I love it. Because it just lets me do whatever I want, have freedom.
What's the hardest part about being an author?
Do I have to just say one thing?
Doesn't matter.
So the hardest part, I think, is definitely what happens after you decide to publish. Because all of a sudden, all of these things that were so personal to you, because writing is part of you. Whether you like to think it is or not, it's a little glimpse into your soul. And you're putting that out there for people to destroy and say that it's horrific, and you're like, well, that's great.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
So that's really hard. And then just the marketing part, because I don't want to do that part. I want to just write. I don't want to have to get on Facebook and try to get people to buy my book. I hate doing that stuff.
Just want to be curled on your couch.
Don't
want to deal with the world.
I want the fairy tale where it's writers just live in the woods and they write and they sit there, and that is not. That is not the truth. But I also would like to make a career out of my love for writing, and that has to happen. Both sides are part of it. So I'd say that those two things were the hardest part. And developing a thick skin. That took me a little bit, and I think I have it now.
Good.
Nice. But it was hard. The first few bad reviews you get are soul wrenching, and everyone's going to love something probably more than it's even worth loving. I have a couple of super crazy fans that are like, you're the best writer, no one compares to you, and I'm like, and then you have people who will react the other way. So I just have to know that that's the balance, and that's what I signed up for. But
yeah, definitely. What publishing house did you go with?
I went with a house called Stonehouse Inc. It's an independent publishing company, so it is a different layout than your traditional pubs and a different layout than going self-publishing. So I have quite a few reasons that I chose that, and it's been really good, and I'm glad I went with them. But the next batch I'll be doing on my own. Because I know what I'm doing now. So
what were some of the reasons why you chose that publishing house?
One, I liked the commission split. It was a 50-50 commission split, which you do not find in traditional publishing ever. And so and some of the independent houses try to get more out of you. They want to do a 60-40 or and so I liked the 50-50. I felt like that was really fair. I felt like the house understood what needed to be done for a book to look professional, and they do, and my books do look very professional.
I've seen them.
And the covers sell me books, and that's them. I had no idea what I was doing, and it would have been a disaster had I not gone with them. So it really was just a matter of getting someone who would pay for the first books to get out, because I didn't have enough faith in myself to invest that, I guess, which is sad, but that's the truth. And yeah, I knew what they were doing, and I liked their commission layout, and so that's who we went with.
Yeah. How long did it take you to write the rough draft of your manuscript for one of your books? You can choose which one.
They're vastly different.
Really?
Yeah. So, book one I literally worked on for 2 years, but the first draft, I don't know how many months that took me. That was a long time ago at this point.
Yeah.
Book 2, 3, and 4, the very, very first rough draft probably takes me like 4 weeks,
Really?
maybe 6.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I have to go in, and I mean, it's another 3 months of editing and rearranging and going over. So yeah, because books 2 and 3, it was 6 months from start to publication date. And that includes, because you have to have time for it to go out and be formatted and get tech edited and creative edited and all those things. So
Still.
yeah. Well, and it depends on how you write too. So like I have another friend who much slower on the first draft. Much slower. However, she writes technically precise, like it's finished when she's done with it.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like there's 3 of us, and we all kind of work together, and the other gal's like, have you seen her rough drafts? They're perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. It's disturbing. And but that's why, because she's so slow and she fixes everything, and I don't do that. I just write, and then when I get to the end, I go back and then I start shredding and tearing it apart. So my rough drafts are rough, which is why they go a little faster.
How long does it take you to edit your book after your rough draft?
Depends on how horrible it is.
You can just give me an average, I don't care.
I would say anywhere, just 1 round through, or from till it's done.
Let's say until it's done.
Okay, so anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months.
Really?
I would say, of just editing. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad, really.
No, it's not. I do work quickly, and I forget that, because when you're working on a manuscript for 3 months, it doesn't feel quickly.
No.
But there are a lot of writers who take much longer. But in today's publishing market, you just can't take that long. People aren't willing to wait.
They just want more and more and more.
Yeah, and so they will stick with whatever author can put things out fast enough. If you're going to take 1 year to 2 years between books, you are forgotten. Nobody will remember to come back and check if you put another book out.
Darn.
Yes.
It's good advice for today,
Yeah, you have to work faster. So, and I've had a really long lag between my last one and what I'm going to be putting out, and I'm having a really hard time with it, but I'm going to put out 5 at one time this next.
5?
Yes. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah, you're tired, I would expect.
Yeah, I'm trying to like not jump the gun and put one out, because it's just been a while and it's stressing me out, but I feel like this is maybe a good marketing strategy, so we're going to try to do that.
Go for it. That's probably the thing about being an author. You try so many different things.
Yeah, you just have to. You have to change all the time.
Do you have a literary agent? I know this question, but...
No, I don't. If I had an offer for a publishing contract with a large company, I would get one, simply because I would need to know what I was signing, and those contracts are insane, and they're in the business for a reason. So I would probably call and get one if I were to get an offer in that regard. But other than that, there's no need for me to split another 10% of my earnings with someone else at this point.
So you do it like if it was like an offer from a big publisher or something?
Yeah, like if I had one of my books from Stonehouse, or one of my independently published books that will be coming out next, like if they took off, because that's what's happening, is the indie authors are taking off, at which point the big publishers are calling them and saying, hey, you're selling a lot of books. How about you come over with us? So if that were to happen and I decided to consider that, then yeah, I would get an agent at that point.
Can you give a rough estimate of how many people you worked with while going through the publishing process?
Yeah, hold on. I'm counting in my head.
It's all good.
10 to 12, I would say.
10 to 12.
Yeah, because you've got the publishing house head. You've got a person that works under him that deals with some of the more minor issues. You've got a creative editor. You've got a tech editor. Sometimes 2 tech editors. You've got your converter, and you've got your the guy who actually does the print layout for the books. Like every step you have to interact with them.
Yeah.
And they send it to you and you say yes or no. And sometimes that's bypassed and it's like through the third person of the publishing house, but not always.